Yo, it's boy Marcus and Moistini back with a video. Today we're going to be talking about weapon tuning in COD Mobile and why it would be a terrible feature to come to the game and possibly could ruin it for a lot of people who genuinely enjoy the game. Now, I'm bringing this topic up because we have seen COD Mobile being turned into Warzone Mobile and being Warzoneified and changed up a lot to mimic Warzone. And I don't like that. I think a lot of people who love COD Mobile probably don't like that, because if you didn't like Warzone Mobile, you probably like COD Mobile. So seeing that change happen is not good. Here is just a little AI overview, kind of describes what weapon tuning is from Modern Warfare 2 2022, if you remember that garbage game. Basically, it lets you fine-tune the pros and cons of individual attachments using 2 slider bars, letting you min-max stats like aiming down, sight speed, recoil control, and damage range to fit the gun. So basically, you would pick an attachment, and with that attachment, I believe you could, there would be a sliding bar that would be like minimum and maximum. So if you slid for ADS time, right, you slid it to max ADS time, it would also hurt your recoil control. So then the gun would be harder to control the recoil, but you would ADS at the fastest possible time. Horrible. Horrible. It was a bad idea. I hated it. Maybe some people out there liked it. They liked that additional customization and things, but it sucked. So you would do the same thing with like your grip, right? If you played MW2 2022, you would know there's about 950 grips. There's 900 red dots. There's 900 stocks, 900 barrels, 900 mags, 900 front grips, 900 suppressors, like it, you know what I mean? You get my point. And so like doing that and trying to figure out what was the best to run, it was stupid, right? As somebody who really likes to play a lot of ranked, I was like, I just need a video. Somebody show me a video of what to do, because it's so stupid. I think that, a level of customization is cool, but remember when, like, to a lot of people, maybe this is old thinking, right? I've been playing this game since it came out. I like when it's just quick draw, grip, and stock. I have absolutely no problems with just that. That's it. Those are your attachment names. That's what the attachments do, right? Quick draw helps you aim down sight faster. There's no cons to it. It just ADS faster. That's it. Plain, simple, effective. Grip, vertical recoil control. Plain, simple, and effective, right? Me personally, like, I don't know if you played Black Ops 4, anybody watching this, but Black Ops 4 is the game that COD Mobile was really modeled after, right? It's very similar to Black Ops 4. They even have Black Ops 4 Reloaded as a mode where it quite literally plays just like BO4. You have stim shots and different specialist functions, and your character is the specialist type thing. And so with that, like, the attachment system in that game, it didn't have weapon tuning, but you would have quick draw, grip, and stock, but you'd have quick draw 2, stock 2, grip 2, right? So it would just be essentially weapon tuning, but you'd use another attachment called the same thing that was just an advanced level. So grip 2, if you played any competitive in BO4, grip 2 would essentially, on an ICR, for anybody really who knows what I'm talking about here, grip 2 ICR basically had 0 recoil, right? It double buff to the vertical recoil control, meaning the gun didn't move at all. Like, it had negative recoil. It was that much of a laser beam, right? Stock 2 in that game meant you strafed back and forth insanely. Stock 2 SOG, for anybody who remembers that. That kind of thing I think is great, right? I think that's a better way to do it. And if weapon tuning is something that comes back, we're seeing a lot of MW2 2022 guns coming in the rest of 2026. The FSS Hurricane is coming back next season, I believe, season 6. And so getting in a lot of these Modern Warfare 2 2022 guns and maybe even score streaks and things like that made me think, well, what if we get weapon tuning? Because that was a big new quote unquote innovative feature, which it was innovative, but it sucked to me. I don't want to see that come back if they're thinking, like, what else could we bring to COD Mobile from these console games, right? They're bringing back DMZ. DMZ was in that game. It's definitely a lot better in COD Mobile than it was in that game. I didn't like it at all in that game. I just think it's an interesting topic, and something I kind of wanted to bring up with you who are watching this video. I feel like I have a good amount of people that have played on console, played on COD Mobile, and kind of know, what we possibly could see coming to COD Mobile has probably already been done, right? They don't really I mean, if we could be real, the developers don't innovate like that. Like, is there a gun in the game that hasn't been seen prior? You know what I mean? Like, outside of the guns that launched with the game, right? We could say maybe the AK-117 was never in any previous COD or something like that. I'm talking about, like, since they started bringing in one gun a season, has there been a gun that they brought into the game that wasn't already in a previous COD? Now, obviously, there's been 20 previous CODs. You know, they've about done all the guns. I mean, there's not a lot of options, but they're not really innovating, right? They don't do a lot of their own maps. I think as of late, maybe with the new modes with DMZ, you know, those might be original maps, Serpent Island and Building 21. You know what I mean? Like, those might be original maps. And then you have, like, Coastal, Tunisia. Those are original maps. But the rest of the maps, pretty much, are brought back from previous COD titles. Cry is probably an original map. So I just, you know, seeing the potential for something like that to come back, I don't like it. So I just thought I'd kind of address it. There's obviously going to be people who disagree. If you played that game and you actually enjoyed Modern Warfare 2 2022, salute you, man. I thought that game was terrible. So I think bringing anything back from that game is terrible. Man, I hated it. The maps, Santa Sanian border crossing. If you know what I'm talking about, man, that horrible, worst map of all time. I also wanted to touch on this here at the end of the video. I've been trying to figure out what to do with the bow. Haven't figured it out yet. So I'm working on it. It's just, I don't know how to run it yet. I haven't figured it out. It's just learning as it goes. Feel free to drop a bow class setup if you have one. Yeah, love this gun. It's a classic advanced warfare gun, if you could call it that. So that being said, that's pretty much all I got for the weapon tuning. I feel like I kind of covered everything with it. There's not a lot else to talk about in terms of what it does. Basically gives you a slider to enhance the ability of certain attachments that you have on your gun, whether it's barrels, grips, stocks, etc. Let me know if you think that's something that you would think would be cool. If you'd only want to see it in DMZ. DMZ is meant to be more of like a extraction shooter where you're more tactical, and I think that's a tactical feature that fits that. But with the rest of COD Mobile, I think that would totally suck. So, you know, if they did bring it in and it was only for DMZ, I think that might actually be pretty unique and pretty cool, and, you know, drive some sort of creation and desire to that mode. But other than that, you know, seeing any other aspect of COD Mobile, I think would suck and really drag down the game more. I would definitely not enjoy as much. Hopefully, maybe one day we'll get my Season 1 refresh, like Fortnite style, where they just revert the entire game back to Season 1. That would be pretty sick, in my opinion. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications if you want to. It's been your boy Marcus Morstini. I'm out of here. Peace.